Hey, good morning and welcome to Ty's DIYs. So, we have finally got all our permits in, which means it's time to start ripping this apart. We are starting some renos. This tower's got to come down. We'll do that today yet. We've got to dig back. We're doing an 8-foot wraparound with a 10-foot addition. So we have to dig out all this soil, these cinder blocks. This concrete's going, eventually the bricks and siding and all that sort of stuff too. And yeah, we're gonna start on some renos. It's time for this place to get a little bit of a facelift. Had this property for several years now, and I've been dreaming about putting a wraparound porch on this since the day we got it. Gonna be good, eh, Nala? We'll yeah, keep you up to date, do some videos. We've got a dumpster, so we've been cleaning out the garage and the house and all the stuff we don't need, and get rid of these volunteer trees that decided to grow here that I didn't deal with last year. And yeah, let's see what kind of a mess we can make. First, we got to get all these cinder blocks picked up, which I started on before I remembered that I should video, and put them in the trailer and stick them out back somewhere for a rainy day for another project. So let's get these removed and keep prepping stuff. Sorry, got a little sidetracked. So what I'm trying to do now is I find this gas line, comes across, and it comes under here. And I thought if I dug a little trench there, I'd find it, but I haven't found it yet. I know it crosses right where those cedars are gone on this side. I've already found it over there, and the propane tank's just on the other side of that old chicken coop. So I was assuming that it was coming across and then turning, but I think my assumption's wrong. I think we're gonna wait for the excavator to come, and we'll just go slow and careful, because I do have on the 8-foot wraparound, and then there's a bit of a landing here so we can have a staircase come out and come down. So there's gonna be a couple posts in here. We're gonna have to find the gas line so we don't find it with the auger, because that would be a bad day. Well, not terrible, I guess we just replace it, but I don't really want to replace it if I don't have to. Got the crew on standby. But so next thing we got to do is we look at the plans, and what we're gonna do is, so that's this side of the house in relation to how it is. So on my south side of the house, we're coming out 8 feet with that wraparound deck. So I am gonna measure out 8 feet, which I've did a while ago, but that's this little line there. So what we got to do is basically we're gonna excavate all of that. Then we're gonna come up here. Again, I've got most of this drawn out from a while ago. And then we're adding on 10 feet, which comes out to here. So then we've got a footing going there. And then from that, another 8 feet for the deck. So we'll come out probably to there. So we got this strip here, we got to strip all the topsoil. And then we will work our way down into here. Eventually this is going to be, it's a 10, well, it's our 10-foot addition, but this is going to be a little pantry room because the garage is turning into bedrooms for the kids. And then this entrance door, we're going to reuse it. We're going to cut a window into it because buying a new one was much too expensive for what I wanted to do. So we're going to reuse that. Move that guy up to here. And then, like I said, we'll get rid of the screen door. I'm going to hack a window into it. I got those on order. And then that's moving out to here. And then we've got another 8-foot coming onto here. So we'll excavate out to there. Gets us past our 8-foot. Oh, I hear my phone ringing. That was my window supplier. They're just calling to say that the windows are coming in for the 12th. So that gives me a couple weeks yet, which is good. I thought they were coming next week. So an extra week is good because we're not ready for them. But we can throw them in the shop, so not a big deal. So back to this. We are... And then we'll come over... So we'll strip that, and then probably it's kind of uneventful. Strip that. So that gives us kind of like a probably 10 or 12 foot strip around the house, nice and cleaned up, lots of space. Yeah, next thing will be we will have to find this gas line and make sure it's not lining up with where the posts are, because there is this, that's the 8-foot for the deck, and then on the plans we got 8-foot, you're not going to be able to read this, and 4-foot, so 12-foot. So we got to do 12-foot for that top corner up here because that little landing. So that's the 4 there. So then we have this landing, which means that, go back to this, we have one post that is almost 4 foot out. So that's probably going to land perfectly on the gas line, which means I'm going to have to hand dig this. Great. 3, 4, so one post will be going there. So we draw a line with our gas line. Yeah, it's probably going to be perfectly on that, which means we're hand digging. Yay. Alright. Well, at least we know what's going on there. So what's next? Oh yeah, we're going to reroute. So this has drains going in. It was installed at build time, whatever, in the 70s. These drains come out and they go out to that drainage ditch. I'm going to reroute all of that over to my pond because that is our drinking water, and I would like more water in it because we seem to be going through a lot more water than when it was just the two of us. But how this works is the water in the pond sits there. We got some sand in between where the well is that takes it in, so that sand filters out. And then we have some filtration stuff inside the house so that you can drink the water and do all that stuff. Just works as a reservoir when you have like a heavy clay ground that you can't, like you basically, you can't put a well in this because no water will seep in because the clay underneath is so thick that water won't go through it. So having the well beside a pond is kind of like having a giant holding tank. It's just exposed, and we keep it clean and keep any critters out or stuff like that. We got a couple fish in there, but nothing Nothing too crazy, a couple bass and stuff like that. And then that will be filtered before it goes to the house even with the sand. And then once it's in the house, I run it through a couple filters and a water softener and all kinds of stuff and a UV light, and it kind of neuters everything so that we can drink it and we don't have to worry about getting sick from it. But basically, we got a big area of grass we got to strip back, and then most of this dirt is just going to come back into here for now, and I will deal with that and landscape this out at a later date once I know what I want to do. I'll have to bring some sand in and probably top up this corner where this deck and stuff is and all of that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Well, I think I've got as much as I can do without the machine, so we're gonna, you can see back past where the dog's barking, that little black dot. The guys are out there trying to fix some wet holes in the field. Let's go check on them, give them a hand, and see if we can help them get that tile in to get the water going, and then they can come over here and we can start digging. Guys are hard at work playing in the clay. Got issues with field tiles backing up back here, so they're getting clogged off and then not draining all the water off the top of the ground, and it's slowing everything down for getting planting, and guys are antsy to get planting. So we'll check on them and give them a hand and get this done. Well, turns out the guys are going to be a little bit, so I'm going to go run some service calls. I got couple different block drains to go deal with, and then I will come back, and when we do, we will start digging and see what we can accomplish today yet. Well, we're here, we're starting, and let's see what kind of mess we can make. Dad's running the mini. We got to strip all of this back and then put a retaining wall in here, so we'll get this opened up. We found a tile, not sure where that goes, but yeah, see what we can find. All right, we got this stripped out. Went 4 foot down from here because this dirt level is going to get built up, so it will be the 4 feet on this side too. It's going 13 feet out. It's that line marked for them. We didn't wreck the gas line. Good day. And Dad's taking the topsoil off. So last night we worked the midnight shift and got a whole bunch done. This is where we're at. We've got our 4 foot coming across for here. So we're gonna be 4 feet deep below the frost so that doesn't move anything. It's gonna be a retaining wall. It's gonna hold a couple posts and keep this dirt back. We got a bunch of this stripped. Dad was hard at it in the machine. We got everything stripped in front of the house. And we've got everything stripped over here. We kind of want a little extra on getting it pulled back just so we had room. I got a couple of the posts marked out. I'll have 2 more yet coming out here. And then for the 8 foot, this is where we're gonna do a footing line. So we gotta go 4 foot down below finished grade again. And then, yeah, once that's done, we're ready. There's a guy coming today. He's gonna drill all my posts in for me. And then Monday, the concrete guy's supposed to be coming to work on stuff. So time to get at it and get it done. We got our main water suction line comes out of the building. Our pump's just in behind here, and then it came across here. So I hand shoveled, we dug close, hand shoveled down, found both lines. So I put a shovel on the outside of it so that when Dad's digging, he knows to go up to the shovel but no further. And then yeah, get this thing uncovered, so hopefully we don't break this one either. It is Saturday. Just thought I'd give you a little update of where we are. The concrete guys were over this morning. They showed up a lot earlier than I was expecting, and I was not quite ready in the morning, but hey, we got her done. So the guys came over. What they did is they cribbed up for the footings. So we have a pier here and here, and then on this side, on this side we decided to continue a retaining wall that's going to come up. It's going to be the same height as this. I'll go to the other side and I'll show you so that it makes sense. So this height is going to carry across all the way out to the end so that we can build up this beside the driveway and actually have a proper retaining wall instead of just some concrete and cinder blocks stacked up on top of each other. So they've got all the footings laid in. This is attached to our main footing. It was a little bit of the retaining wall that the previous owner did, so we left it because if we start reefing on this and it wrecks my blocks, it's going to be a sad day. So we've got our footings all cribbed up, and they come around the house. We got a whole bunch of post holes dug. It's a busy day. So yeah, we got that all cribbed up, so that'll be for our 10-foot addition. So I got an inspection coming for Monday. They're gonna inspect, make sure this is all good, matches the heights that it's supposed to and everything else. If they pass it, then the guys will be pouring it Monday afternoon, and then we will do the footing walls hopefully the day after or right shortly, and then I get to do a bunch of landscaping and backfilling and everything else. Yeah, we excavated all that stuff, and we're doing the same sort of thing on this side. So because everything in our yard slopes, that there's not a flat spot, we're gonna keep that line coming out, I think the 13 feet, and then our wraparound deck comes around, and then there's a small spot here with a staircase going down, and then we're gonna be cutting like a patio door into this wall up here into our bedroom, so that way we have a little bit of sunlight because we only have this one little window, and then also opening up the bedroom on this side so we have a little bit more space in our room and we're not having to squeeze past our queen bed. But yeah, we got this stuff all cribbed up and we are ready. We got around the gas line, made that work. Didn't hit my water lines over here as well, so that was good. Missed the hydro line that was up there. I pre-dug it and knew that we weren't going to hit it, but it was pretty close, so we just wanted to make sure we didn't get that. But yeah, I basically got everything's ready for the footings to get poured, other than getting the inspection done and finished, and then we're gonna see what we can do and see how fast we can make this, not make this happen, but how fast it happens. After the concrete's all said and done, then I guess the next step will be for me to have all the lumber and trusses on site, and then once all that is on site and here, then we're gonna get the framers booked in and see when they can frame this thing up. And yeah, that's gonna be a big change. So this is what we're going for, well, no, sorry. This is what it is, and yeah, it's gonna be a big change. It's cool. Me and my wife are both very excited, and it's gonna be fun.